Hey everybody, I am AR Mar, and today was my first viewing, in a while, of Batman Forever. Oh, this one was good. Once again, I've got my special guest here, Heather, and we love this movie.
It's one of my favorites of the Tim Burton's four.
Well, this one wasn't by Tim Burton, this was
Yes.
like Schumacher, I think.
Yeah, but Tim Burton still had produced it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
he has a hand in 3 of the 4. That's what I remember.
Yeah. And honestly, this one gets a lot of crap for its lighter tone, but I love it. It is so much fun. And honestly, after the sort of sour dish that is Batman Returns, this one is just so fun. The action's well done. They figured out the bat suit a bit more, so it's a bit more well choreographed and a bit more fluid and cooler. He actually uses gadgets in this one, and they're not mind controlled somehow. Like, it actually shows how he activates them in most scenes.
Yeah, and again, as much as it's lighthearted and goofy with the gadgets, it works for this movie, and it kind of goes back to Batman having gadgets, and the lightheartedness goes back to him not killing people. There's like 1 or 2 instances where cars blow up, but again, he doesn't smile about it. He doesn't mean to do it. In this one, he's a lot more back to no killy, and it's really nice.
Yeah, and the villains, Two-Face is yeah, it would have been awesome if we had gotten Billy D. Williams.
Yeah,
but Tommy Lee Jones does a great job. He's fun. He does the whole bifurcated thing so well. And I just love watching him in this role. He's clearly having a lot of fun.
It's really fun to see him having this fun role, because he does a lot of serious ones. And don't get me wrong, they're beautiful, but it's nice to let him have fun.
Totally. And I love his girls. They're just amazing in this movie. It's like Sugar and Spice. Yeah. They are... they are perfectly representative of his two sides. Like that scene with his hideout and the 2 girls and the 2 sides and the 2 meals and everything else. It's
As he says, it's so you and so you.
Yeah. Like Riddler says that and I'm like, yeah, you're right. It is just him and him. And I do love the 2 women they picked for these roles. You've got Sugar, who's thin and wafy and pale and...
Just
she fits that sort of archetype, this blonde, frail, good girl almost, except for she's wearing that outfit and she's in a gangster's lair.
Yeah.
And then you've got Spice.
Ooh,
she's got the hardcore look, the not just the black stuff, but some spiked bits. She's a bit stockier and wide, but
she's got muscle to her. She looks like a chick who could punch you.
And she looks awesome. They both fit the archetypes they're supposed to fit into well, and they both own their, outfits and bodies. They're set roles. She's totally into the, blowtorch lighting the cigarette and the dark side that she's supposed to be in. And Sugar's just yep, I'm the, breezy, cheery one. Yeah. Here's your wine and whatnot. I'm like, you girls are nailing it.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's good.
Props to the actresses.
And that kind of leads to just... In general, Two-Face's gang, they fit him so well. They're just, their outfits and the way they act. You'll get some of his guys who are, kind of whoa, boss is cray-cray. And then you get the one who's, driving this is awesome.
Yeah. And
it's just good.
Yeah, and that brings it, that kind of calls back to what we said about Batman Returns, that the gang didn't really seem to fit Penguin.
Yeah.
And, yeah, in this one, Two-Face's gang fits him.
So
good. And the Riddler. The Riddler. Jim Carrey is, some people are I didn't like him, blah, blah. It's no, Jim Carrey fits this role so well.
Yes. Like I said, some Riddlers aren't like this, but for this movie, for the Riddler they had, he fits it to a T. It's so good.
They kind of went through, several, comic books over the ages. There's been, 1,000 different variations of the Riddler. And they kind of did go through a few in this movie. He starts out with the coat and the bowler hat and, almost classic Eddie look.
Yeah.
But then he sort of goes through a bunch of looks that are a bit more extreme and a bit crazier.
Oh, Lord, drama.
And people have been oh, well, that doesn't fit him at all. I'm like, well, A, Nigma's a bit of a drama queen in general. And B, with all that, brain stuff he's draining into him, that has to be doing something to his head. Maybe he's just going a bit crazy.
Yeah, and you kind of see that too, yes, him and Two-Face are both doing it, but you see more and more clips of him chilling out under the direct rays and Two-Face ain't there. He's just sitting there kind of going, yeah, Yeah, and you see it's kind of getting weird.
Yeah, he's overdosing on intelligence, like,
which he can do.
yeah, like it does seem at the end that he's kind of like almost too obsessive about it, like he's overthinking.
Yeah, and it's also kind of neat to watch him grow with Two-Face, because you get him starting out, he switches his obsession from Bruce to Two-Face. He wants that to be his, like, mentor, because you got the feeling he wanted Bruce to be his partner, his mentor, and he switches it to Two-Face, but...
He doesn't entirely lose the obsession with Bruce, though,
No.
because, like, there's the point where he's copied Bruce's hair, he has Bruce's suit.
He has his mole.
and the glasses. Like, there's a point where he sees Bruce put glasses on, and he's like...
I got those too, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see him go with Two-Face, and he even has this thing where he gets Two-Face to show him how to punch somebody, and he just grows.
Make a fist, pull way back, and assert yourself.
But yeah.
Again, make a fist, pull way back, and assert yourself. Oh.
But yeah, near the end of it, when he's getting kind of weird on the brain stuff, he says, "I am a god," and you get this weird equalness beside him and Two-Face, because Two-Face just stands there, lets him do all the show. And yeah, he's not exactly overtaking Two-Face, but you definitely see a change in his dynamic. He's no longer the new guy following Two-Face, he's now grown into his own confidence. But it's almost weird because of the brain stuff. It's too much already, and...
Okay, so this is the next part. We've praised Batman, we've praised the villains. Now here's where the movie falls a tiny bit flat.
Yeah.
Robin. And Robin is one of my favorite characters of all the DCU. I mean, I'm wearing a Nightwing shirt.
He's
like,
great, but he's too old.
Yeah. They make him a college student for this, and like I get that even back then and even now there's these concerns about putting kids in danger and showing them in danger. But I'm kind of like, even making him like a teenager, like 16 or 15.
And they kind of play him like that. They play his, I'm a bad boy, I'm going to do what I want to rebel.
I've got my earring.
Yeah,
and
but
whatnot.
He still feels too old for that. Like, it feels weird for him to act that way because he looks like he should be over that. Like, he shouldn't be still rebelling.
Yeah, and it is just weird, and like, there's other weird bits, like when he crashes in, the Batcave is blaring, intruder alert!
Yeah, but...
Everything opens!
The car comes whirling up.
The car comes up, the door to the Batsuit area is wide open.
The computer, you see it off, and it powers on when it's like, intruder alert, I'm gonna turn on.
It's like, are you trying to intimidate the intruder into being like, oh shit, I didn't realize this was the Batcave?
Better go!
No! It's just stupid!
It's really weird.
And like, admittedly, Alfred's standing there, it's
but
like...
still, you hear the alarm going, intruder alert.
Yeah, and nothing has turned on. Like, Alfred's pretty far into the cave and nothing has turned on. Nothing turns on until Dick, like, hits the bottom of the stairs. It's like,
it's
what?
weird.
Yeah.
And
like,
I get it, it may have been for the cinematography or whatever, but it's still, for the cave, it feels weird.
Yeah, like, it would have made more sense if Alfred had already been turning everything on and then Dick fell in and Alfred was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Or even showing, like, stuff coming up after he turned off that intruder alert noise.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, when he comes down, it's just going, intruder alert, and it seems weird.
At least later when the Riddler infiltrates the Batcave, like, it's saying intruder alert, but nothing's coming up until he hits his little signal jammer cane, and then everything turns on for him and the intruder thing turns off.
Yeah. And it's kind of nice, because going back to the other movie,
Returns?
Yeah, Batman Returns, it didn't make sense for them to have those schematics. It makes sense for Eddie to have a signal jamming cane. He's genius creepy levels
he already
right now.
invented the brain drain thing, and he's been draining brain power from Gotham. I am fully okay with him being like, I've got a techno-hacky signal cane.
Yeah, it makes sense for his character. It didn't make sense
for Penguin to somehow have technical schematics for the Bat. Yeah.
For his crew to have technical schematics.
Schematics for the Batmobile, like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's just weird.
The Batmobile in this one, it's a prop. It doesn't do anything other than, like, it does that weird-ass, like, go up a wall thing at one point.
And then you see that the fin can split. Though for what reason, we don't know, because it only does it when Robin takes it out for a spin. It shows
like,
it split,
thinking about
and then
cars
it's
and
back.
aerodynamics, that could be like the fin on the back of a car. When you're going faster, it splits.
But they
then when
only
it goes
show
slower,
it
it goes up. Yeah, and when they show it, it's flopping so, like, dramatically. It's
Maybe
like,
that's why they put it back together.
God.
Like, that looks horrible. Put it back. Put it back.
Should we reshoot that last shot?
No.
No, fuck it. We're low on time. Let's just go. Oh god, yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah. So is this movie perfect? No, there's still a lot of flaws, but
Oh, they managed to sneak in the holy rusted metal Batman. Like they as soon as they did Robin, they probably went, you know what? We have to
We have to
put
have a
one
holy
reference
something.
into Burt Ward. Like we have to do that.
and it was kind of neat with the car going up the wall. It almost referenced the Adam West one as well. Whenever they climb up the wall and the guest star comes out the window, because he looks over and there's all of these windows paneling by. I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's what they meant to do, but it worked.
It's cool, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the Batmobile is a lot more secondary in this one than the last one, where it was almost his Bat tank.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And it's kind of nice to see that because
Yeah.
it's weird when it's too much of his car and too much of his guns on his car. So
Yeah.
it was nice to see his little gadgets and him fighting.
Exactly. And one of the things I would have loved from this movie would have been a little more of Robin in his current suit fighting alongside Batman.
Yeah, as soon as they get to the Riddler's Crazy Island, they get separated, and you don't get the cool fight scene together. It would have been nice to just take out some
just
goons.
a room of thugs or something like that.
Because they took out the ones underwater,
yeah.
but that wasn't fighting. That was just like
and it annoys me a little because they only have that suit for the end of this movie, and then they get the new suit in the next one, and it's like that suit is like that's essentially Tim Drake's suit.
Yeah, it looks really
I don't
good.
mind them putting it on Dick Grayson for the movie, but it's Tim Drake's suit, and it looks awesome.
Mm-hmm. And it felt like it didn't get enough time for how nice a suit it was. As much as the mask makes me laugh, we realized there's a little R right there.
Yeah. Branding is important.
Here and here, maybe on my boot.
One of the reasons I kind of want like a younger person to play Dick is because first of all, there's that parallel in the comics between, oh, this kid lost his parents to crime at a young age, like me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's part of how Bruce and Dick connect. And, he sees Dick and he doesn't want Dick going down the same dark path he did. He wants to give the kid hope.
Yeah. And again, they try to do that in this movie, but again, his age,
yeah,
it just doesn't lead well to it. Yeah, like I said, the part with the motorcycles almost feels like bribery. If he instead had a kid who he said, I could train you how to defend yourself, or I could show you how to fix vehicles. Like, he starts him. That would have been cool.
Or like in the animated series, there is in one of the later seasons, there is an episode where they basically do this. They do Dick's origin, and like he takes Dick in, and he's working feverishly as Batman to solve the crime so that he can give the kid some closure. Unknown to him, Dick's sneaking out. But when he finds Dick out there, he's like, shit, like this kid is a lot like me. He's determined. He's like, I have to teach him so he doesn't get himself killed or hurt or whatever. Like,
yeah, in this one it feels
Yeah.
a lot more scolding, which again, because of the age not being right, it feels weird. He's going, no, you can't do this, but it's like, you're almost the same age. Like you
Yeah.
said, Bruce looks like he's in his late 20s, but Robin looks like he's in his early 20s, so it really doesn't feel like that much of a gap.
yeah, it just it feels weird. And again, like you said, the best part of this thing is the bromance between Riddler and Two-Face.
It's just so good. And again, you can make the gay jokes. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's just a really fun thing to see because, again, it fits Edward's personality. He's an obsessive person, so you get this kind of new Ed wanting someone to share it with. And that fits him, too, because he wants to show off. He wants someone to acknowledge his brilliance. So to have someone who goes, hey, yeah, you did good, kid, that fits
Yeah,
him.
and having Two-Face being like, that is perfect.
Yeah.
That is smart. And he's like, I like this guy.
Yeah, and he gets the violence, because that's the thing is, when he saw Bruce, but when Bruce turns him down, he kind of goes, I need someone better than Bruce, and he sees Two-Face, and he sees that violence, and he's like, that's what I need dark, I want to be a villain, and
Yeah.
it's kind of
I
neat.
need that edge. And going back to the Dick Grayson should have been younger thing, like, if they made a modern movie, I would love, like, to see him 16, 15, but get, like, a trained acrobat.
Well,
Get
yeah.
someone who can really, like, do that acrobatic fighting. Give us, like, some Cirque du Soleil level shit with, like, the acrobatic scenes in the circus. Like,
Yeah,
just do it up.
There's people out there who could do it, and I feel like they could do it nowadays. And again, that's, it makes sense. Everything can be done a bit better now, but
Yeah.
I just feel like they kind of shy away from it. They feel like it's going to be goofy to have a kid. Like, with the Nolan movies, they really seem to ignore that till the end. And again, Robin was an adult. Sorry.
And he was only, like, vaguely named. He was actually
I know.
named Robin or some shit. Like, that was just
so
stupid.
weird.
But
Anyway.
yeah, and like, to go back to the animated stuff, Under the Red Hood shows us, like, how awesome a teen Robin can be in, like, the flashback scenes with Jason. He was, like, flipping and sliding and, like, all this awesome shit. I'm like,
It's amazing.
And I know they could do that with live action. Like, we've seen it in, like, fucking Kick-Ass.
Yep.
Like, Hit Girl is basically what I would want, like, a Robin to be in one of these movies.
And that's the thing is,
except with the killing, like, the killing part, no. Like,
no
you know
killing.
What I mean? Like,
but again, and I understand people, and you've got to respect child actors, you've got to protect them, but there's a point where, yes, they can do these things, and they should be allowed to.
Hit Girl.
Yeah. So, yeah, and again, I understand that there's always going to be older actors playing younger kids, but it didn't work in this movie. He still looked too old. He still acted
he
old.
felt so wrong. Like, he just felt... Yeah, and I do give them props for putting in the Nightwing mention. That was kind of funny. Like, we both did a take at that. We were like, oh god, they actually said it. That was awesome. Yeah, really, that's about all that comes to mind for this initial, like, first viewing dump from us. But yeah, we had a lot more fun watching this movie than we did Returns. I'll admit it straight up.
It's just good.
Yeah, it was great. Anyhow, thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you next time.